The lights are off and away they go.
Extremely loose. He's managed to hold on and they get
He missed the complete. That is crazy stuff.
Side Freitas is on the grass on the infield floor. He slides through. He tags Richard Eck.
They hail from around the globe, and though separated by oceans, they gather in the virtual world for reasons as varied as their locales. Whether it's a defending champion looking to retain his title, a new and eager hopeful driving for recognition, or a legend prepared to recapture past glory, in the end, the one goal they all share is to win. But when naming a victor, only one driver's name can be etched into the record books. You're watching the Tidal Influence MX-5 World Tour!
When the moon is in the 7th house and Jupiter aligns with Mars, then peace will guide the planets and love will steer the stars. This is the dawning of the season of Aquarius, or more specifically, this is the Global Sim Racing Channel's live as it happens coverage of the Tidal Influence MX-5 World Tours. I am season opener from the flat tarmac that is Sebring International Raceway. Hello everyone and welcome to another GSRC broadcast. I'm your host, Bill Soupzon. Helping me call the action is the self-proclaimed Thunder Down Under, Richard Losper. Turning the knobs and pushing the sliders is the hardest working man in sim racing broadcasting, Joe Peak. And at his disposal will be the camera locations provided by the Ansel Adams of iRacing, Dougie Beard. With Aquarius being the 11th sign in the zodiac and this being the 11th campaign of the MX-5 World Tour, a mysterious astrological connection has been established, and in about 10 minutes the season of Aquarius will commence. With a mixture of veterans and newcomers taking the grid, harmony and understanding, sympathy and trust abounding might be wishful thinking. No more falsehoods or delusions. Well, guess again, race fans, because this is the opening race of an 11-race campaign, and every driver has golden living dreams and championship visions. But when the season closes after the double-distance, double-point grand finale, all but one must face the brutal truth that is, only one driver will be able to share the same mystic crystal revelation experienced by our defending champion Amjad Yaman. The first step towards the next championship is 18 laps, 45 minutes of hard, close racing on this big layout here at Sebring. So for your mind's true liberation, let me turn the mic over to our MX-5 expert, Richard Losper, to talk about Sebring.
Hello, Bill, and good evening to all our viewers. And let me say I am really excited about the new season starting, the Age of Aquarius. Is that from the musical Hair?
Little musical Hair there, yep.
Yep, so you've quoted that song. I quite like that song. Anyway, let's get on with business. So the track is Sebring that we're working on tonight. And we have ourselves here a long track, 3.7 miles, 5.955 kilometers, 17 turns. Very flat, as you say, Bill. And lots of twists and turns on the track itself as well. A very fast track in parts. Turn 1 is quite scary, as is the last turn, turn number 17, the famous Sunset Bend. I absolutely love that. I think that's the best turn in iRacing anyway. So it's going to be an interesting race. We have a lot of newcomers here tonight, Bill. And some really fast guys, and we've got some guys returning that we know are fast as well. I'm thinking of guys like Adekoba Lopez, Marcelo Pajan, the usual guys from last season, Patrick Fliss, Amjad Yaman, our past champion. He is here, or last season's champion, Sonny Kanchan. But we've got some new guys, Marlo Larson, Syandra, and Andre Saunders is back for a stint. Uros Jelenko back as well. So it's going to be a great race. But quickly, let's go to a lap guide so we can see what the track looks like and get the proceeding started. Joe?
Alright, Richard Losper is behind the wheel of the GSRC MX-5, so let's do a lap around Sebring. We're going to drift across the track and get nice and cozy against the pit wall here. Coming down to turn 1, it's bumps, bumps, and more bumps as you fly through this fast left-hander. Be careful not to track out too wide though, because the circuit narrows, and at this speed, it's easy to spin off by touching the dirt. From there we've got a short sprint to 3, which is a 90-degree left-hander, but it dumps you straight into 4 and 5, which is a more technical little section. Main thing here is getting yourself a good exit out of 5, because it's a long blast around Big Bend to the next braking zone. If you get off into the dirt, play it safe and lift, because the barriers for this bridge make it embarrassingly easy to bin it into the tires. Drafting will definitely play a part here, so you've got a double whammy of heavy braking and guys reeling you in from the slipstream. Expect battles here often. Turn 7 is also a big danger zone on the first lap if people aren't paying attention to the accordion effect. Now we're back on the gas again, and it'll be a gentle right and then left through 8 and 9. These corners don't mean much in this car, so it's mostly a matter of straightening them out. But make sure and keep left as we get ready to brake for Cunningham. Here's another good place to attempt an overtake, but it's also quite easy to overshoot it if you get greedy. From here, we work our way around Collier and try to angle the car as straight as we can while approaching Tower. This is a deceivingly tricky little corner. It really requires you to carry speed, but it's bumpy, the inside curb is high, and once again, the dirt on the outside makes it easy to spin. Plus, it's another long acceleration zone afterwards. And the little MX-5, the double apexer of Bishop, is another pretty simple affair, so just make sure to get the car left and brake for the S's of 15. Be careful of these curbs on either side. They can unsettle your car if you find yourself sliding wide or cutting too far inside. Now stay left and widen your entry to Le Mans as much as you can. As with every car on this track, the all-important good exit out of this corner determines how much time you'll lose or gain while accelerating down the Ullman Straight. Ultimately, if the guy behind you is close enough, it won't matter too much, since that draft will once again put you into a too-wide situation entering Sunset Bend. And if you've ever tried that, you know it's a hair-raising experience. It's got this curved braking zone from that kink at the entry, and then on top of it, it's one of the bumpiest, most unsettling corners in racing. There's about 100 lines you can take through here, but in the end, all that matters is who's in front when you cross the start-finish line. And if you survived, you've done just that and completed your lap around Sebring.
After watching that lap around in the dark, I think all the drivers would sing the chorus of let the sun shine in. And it is sunny today here at Sebring. Luckily, these guys are racing in the daytime where the vision is much easier. Now, let's take a quick look at, we're not going to be able to do point standings, but we are going to look back at last season's point standings to see how the drivers fared in the DECA season. We'll bring those up right now. Now, for seasons 5 through 9, Amjad Yaman had managed to finish inside the top 5 in the championship points each of his 5 seasons actually, that he participated. But a slow start at the DECA season put that streak in jeopardy. After a public scolding by his biggest fan, Mama Jean, Dr. Ramjad rallied to take the championship without actually winning a race, which exemplifies the consistency that Yaman is noted for. Now, perhaps more surprising was the sudden emergence of the Slovene machine, Patrick Fliss. Now with the perfect Ironman season under his belt, Fliss can set his sights on a championship. Three-time champion Jan Koeman broke a 25-race winless streak, grabbing 3 more checkered flags and boosting his career total, get this, to 40 wins. However, real-world commitments prevented the Speedmaster from adding a 4th crown to his collection. Deuce Allen and Sonny Katchen round out the top 5, but the back 5 is the real eyebrow-raiser. Now, veterans Travis Schwenke, Dexter Castro, Eric Garcia, and Benjamin Lanowet all accomplished career highs in the standings. Rookie Julian Airfare of Frey was impressive early, but the rigors of an 11-race season proved to be too much for the Frenchman, and he limped his way into 9th. Now, who will the stars align for in this season of the Aquarius? Well, we'll know here on May 14th after the grand finale. Now, Richard, I think you're a Gemini, so I checked your horoscope here, and it says to be aware of technical gremlins that may silence your insight. So before that happens, let's go ahead and have you talk about some of the specifics of this series and the races.
Technical gremlins, hey? Well, we've certainly had a little bit of that. We're going to be running out of time here very soon. This race is going to start. So let's talk about, what did you ask me to talk about, by the way?
Well, we're going to talk about the specifics of this race here going on, that we have no fast repairs, that type of thing.
Well, let's see. So we've got a 28-liter tank on this car. So the pit stops will be enforced today. Everyone will have to do a pit stop. I wonder if some of the newer guys will know how to do a pit stop, particularly one that's done under conditions as torrid as they're going to experience here tonight. We have the MX-5. By the way, folks, this is one of the last times, perhaps 2 or 3 more races we will have here, Bill, with this version of the MX-5. Circuit 2 2015 it's called now. There's a brand new MX-5 coming out, lighter, faster. It's going to be great. But that's about all we can say. There are pit stops required. There will be certainly tires will need to be considered here as well. This is a flat track, very fast, but a lot of turns, 17 turns. It's going to take its toll on the tires, Bill. And I have to tell you as well that the weather is, you've got a track temperature 42 degrees. So that's going to be quite interesting, because that's quite warm for these guys in this car. The tires are going to suffer because of that.
Yep, and as they're just getting ready to go into qualifying, it's going to wrap up. Now, they're doing a lone qualifying today. Usually this series has a quick 6 regrid where they regroup the top 6 qualifiers based on their standings. We're not going to do that on this race because everybody comes in fresh. So it's really the fastest guys go at the top. And we're going to go ahead and read some of these grids for you right now, even though it's not done. Now, this is a bit surprising. Sitting at the top is Marlowe Lawson. He's going to be the fastest qualifier. Had a lap time of 2:31.108. About a tenth of a second behind him is Ade Cobo-Lopez, very fast again. Yuris Jelenko, a veteran of this series, sitting in third. Now, 2-time champion Richard Eklund sits in the 4th position, with Thomas Zabo, a veteran who picked up a win last season, is in 5th. Look at these names up there. And then rounding out the top 6, Marcello Pajan from Italy. Richard, what do you see in the 7th spot?
I see Sonny Kanchan at the moment bringing up the 7th spot. Qualifying is not quite finished, still a few cars out on track. Then we've got Cy Andra, who is a newcomer rookie. He is currently in the 8th position. Then Patrick Fliss, John Deuce Allen, who was so close to getting a win last season, or certainly trying for a win last season. Sadly, he couldn't make it at the last race at Bathurst, but he is in 10th place at the moment. Somebody else has sneaked in there as well. Patrick Fliss sneaked in there. Somebody else sneaked in. Marlowe Larson, top of the boards. Marlowe Larson, I told you this guy's fast, Bill. We're going to have to look out for him. So that's our top 10. Then we've got 11th place currently, Andre Saunders, and Carlos Torres in 12th position at the moment on the board.
In the 13th spot, it's Tom Rathie is back after missing last year. Amjad Yama, defending champion, in 14th. Jake Tucker in 15th. Billy Bob Wright in the 16th spot. 17th goes to Robert Hartley. And rounding out the top 18 as a newcomer, Thomas Willen. Richard, who do you see in 19th right now?
Let's have a look. 19th, Dexter Castro, way down at the moment. He's going to have to up his game if he wants to get into the top 10 here. Travis Swenke in 20th place. 21st place, Michael Wright. Michael Van Dyke is in 22nd. That's another newcomer. Joseph Aero in 23rd. And Jordy Fike, veteran, there in 24th place.
In the quarter-century mark is Thomas Torp. David Hansen, Benjamin Lanowit, Derek Holland follows him. Also back there, 29th is Benjamin Nelson, Tuan Tran in 30th. Joe McDonald, LeVar Bout in 32nd position. Returning from a long stint away, Oscar Nieto is coming back. Al Heaton in 34th position. The only cars to actually post qualifying grids, 2 cars did not. So we have 34 drivers on the grid with Marlowe Lawson sitting on the pole.
There we are, and we're not that far away from a start here. Very interesting stuff here, Bill. This is going to be a bit of a shock for some of the guys who don't race in the regular series, because they will be saying, Marlowe Larson, who's that? I'm here to tell you Marlowe Larson has been smoking everybody in the official series. So back to you. We're very, very close. They're on the grid right now, very close to a start.
You can see Marlo Larson out in front there in that dark color machine. Now followed right behind him in the second position is the machine of Ade Coba Lopez. We're going to just call him Coba here today. Very fast. Two drivers out in front. We were wondering if Larson's time was draft related, aided, but it wasn't. He seems to be fast on his own for sure. Still waiting for everybody to take the grid. The lights are up now. We're waiting to see the colors here to go, and the drivers begin to rev their engines. Everyone taking their time. Gather up the chickens. Take cover behind the cows because the horses are out of the barn, and Larson leads the stampede down into corner one. Lopez right behind him. Got a good jump. Looks like he might be taking a peek on the outside, but that's not going to happen. Larson is going to have the preferred position into one, Coba Lopez into two. Falling back there in third position is Jelenko. Right outside of him, it's the two-time champion Eklund. Now making a move for the lead is they go side by side as Larson, and Coba Lopez has taken the lead over Larson. Richard.
And let me get around to the rear of the field there. A big, big moment. And now we've got another moment there with Dexter Castro. But a big moment there for Amjad Yaman into turn one. He was way out on the right-hand side there. He managed to gather it up again. Then coming into the turn before Big Ben, we had Dexter Castro have a little bit of an incident there. So a bit of a flurry around the back of the back of the field, I should say, at the moment, but they're all racing. Amjad Yaman in big trouble there with some of the, shall we call them, back markers. There's such a big field here, Bill.
Fairly clean all the way through. Meanwhile, while that was going on, Richard Eklund has moved up into the third position, got around Jelenko. Let's go ahead and look at the front. We'll try to set those guys up in the front. The new guy, Sayandra, running in sixth spot, just behind Thomas Zabel from Hungary. The Italian driver, Marcello Pajan, in seventh position. Eighth position, the Australian, Sonny Ketchen. A newcomer, Andre Saunders, in ninth position. And rounding out the top 10 is Patrick Fliss, the Iron Man.
Yep, that is correct. And just behind Patrick Fliss is John Deuce Allen, keeping an eye on him and on Patrick, and of course on Amjad Yaman, last season's winner. Amjad Yaman slowly moving up now. He's behind Tom Rathy, but he's way off the leaders at this stage. But it's early stages in the race, so we'll see what happens here as they head down into Ullman Straight. Look at that. What a great picture. I'm going to have to take some pictures of this for the website. Sonny Kenton has moved up nicely as well. He's now in 7th place, so we're going to have a look at these front runners. Marlo Larson back in the lead, still ahead of Ade Coba Lopez is now in the lead. Ade and Marlo behind him. Richard Eklund in 3rd position. Uros Jelenko 4th. Tomas Zabel, all the great drivers that we know, all up there in the top 5. Bill, this is fantastic.
Now, Eklund was late to the session, and I hear a little contact here going on for somebody. I see Dexter Castro's has some trouble, but that's not it. Slow, nothing really to go back and look for there. So let's go back up to the leaders here real quick. And to talk about Lopez and Larson, who are beginning to pull away. Eklund was late to the session, didn't get in a lot of practice time. He's really going to want to try to see if he can hang on to the back of Larson. He doesn't want those two drivers to pull away from him there. And I hear more bumping going on in the back.
Yeah.
Looks like Dexter Castro is in the wall. Dexter Castro has put it in the wall. He must have had some damage previously, so I think his day is done.
Yep, he had some damage in the first lap there going into turn number 3. So let's get back to the front here. Ade Coba Lopez leading. Marlo Larson in 2nd place. Right on the back bumper of, indeed, Ade Coba Lopez. Let's just call him Coba, as you said. Richard Eklund moving up. Richard Eklund being challenged there by Uros Jelenko. Uros Jelenko makes the pass, makes it stick as well. These are two veterans. They know how to race on any track. And Uros Jelenko loves this track. He's had a win here before. Here comes Richard Eklund once again. They go down into that right-hand turn. I forget the name of it. I'll get to that in a moment. Uros Jelenko manages to fend off Richard Eklund. Richard Eklund coming back at him, up ahead of them. Ade Coba Lopez, who must be wondering who the heck is Marlo Larson. I'm here to tell you, Marlo Larson, he's fast. He's going to be a problem for these veterans all season long. But here we go. Here we go. Here is Richard Eklund making a pass maneuver, trying it on Uros Julenko. Can't make it stick. Uros Julenko holding him out. Great driving from both of these guys.
Yeah, Jelenko trying to hang on to the back of Larson. That gap is beginning to stretch. It was about a second there when Eklund was leading, and now it's up to almost 1.3 seconds. So Jelenko and Eklund and Szabo having trouble keeping pace with the top two. Let's take a second to run down the second 11 here, the second 10. Looking at 11th place running now is Deuce Allen. Now right behind Deuce Allen is our defending champion Amjad Yaman running in 12th position. A newcomer, Robert Hartley, in 13th, and that yellow machine there. A little bit farther back is a veteran after sitting out last season, now driving the Cape Cod potato chip car there. Kind of an orange and blue car is Tom Ratche. Jake Tucker, who got into contact with Dexter Castro and sent Castro into the wall, running in 15th position. Carlos Torres from Colombia in that Cafe de Colombia car. In 17th spot, Travis Schwenke, who was way up in front last season, saw a lot of times in the top 5. The talent depth today has him running back in 17th. 18th position, Billy Bob Wright, who just got passed by a newcomer, Michael Van Dyke, who takes over 18th. Billy Bob Wright in that kind of blue and purple X-Lax machine. And then in 20th position, the Iron Man, who's been around for 116 races, Joseph Arrow from Italy. Richard, what do you see up front?
Well, let's go back to the front there. Marlo Larson stalking Ade Coba Lopez, trying to make the pass. But it's not happening at the moment. Marlo is a very canny driver. I suspect we need to find out something more about this driver, Bill. But I do suspect that somewhere he is quite used to racing. Perhaps certainly not in iRacing, but perhaps in other sim racing, or perhaps in real life. We'll have to find out, send our spies out to find out who he is and what he does. Now, Uros Julenko has dropped a long way off these guys by his standards. Now, Richard Eklund as well. Richard Eklund, he can mix it with anybody on any track, but look at these guys. He has just, Richard Eklund, being passed by Tomas Szabo. So this is not good for Richard. I wonder what he's thinking right now.
Yeah, Richards, it's always a time situation for him where he doesn't always have the available time to invest in practicing, and you can see him dropping now back another spot behind Szabo, as you said. What is interesting, though, there's good action behind them as we're looking here. Dropping back on screen, you see there Patrick Fliss being challenged. Look at this hornet's nest there. That's Deuce Allen out in the mix there somewhere. That's Patrick Fliss leading the way. Beside them, side by side, in the lightning bolt machine is Deuce Allen with Amjad Yaman on the outside, and he's tapped.
Trouble.
Andre Saunders got into him. Collected
Saunders.
also Robert Hartley.
Oh dear, here's a big crash here. Andre Saunders got the worst of that. His car is crabbing terribly. He's going to have to take a tow. But he was challenging. We'll get that on replay, Bill. Let's see. Amjad Yaman also got terribly involved there.
Yeah, there was a hornet's nest of trouble there, and you can see in slow motion that's Yaman on the outside there. And from this far away, it looks like he was given space, given as much room as he can. And then he goes way wide, and you see he has to turn in somewhere, and then he turns in. Boy, he comes in tight on Saunders. Saunders really didn't have anywhere to go. That's going to be a tough call for the IRT. It looked like Saunders had to put the car somewhere. And then you have the slow motion pile up, collecting 3, 4, 5 cars. Oh, many cars involved. We'll see if we can get a rundown of the cars that were really caught on that one. So back there in about 8th position, we took out several. Meanwhile, up in front, Larson is beginning to, the combo of Coba Lopez and Larson beginning to pull away just a little bit more from Jelenko, who's doing his best to hang with those two.
Yeah, that's correct. And we have to mention that going down the Ullman Straight, that back straight there, the draft is quite significant. So with these two guys in front being able to be in draft very close range to each other, they are going to pull away, particularly if they trade positions. And we're finding the likes of Tomas Szabo, Uros Julenko, and Richard Eklund struggling to keep up with them. But just behind them, we have a pair of guys that I know very, very well. Marcello Pajan and, of course, Sonny Kanchan. And the newcomer, Syandra, watch out for him as well. He is very fast. So that is your top 8. Then we've got Patrick Fliss and Deuce Allen. These guys have survived. They were part of that a little bit of a pile-up, but they seem to have got away unscathed, Bill. So they are in the race, and their cars look good. John Deuce Allen struggling to make 10th position here. So the competition is fierce, Bill. Fantastic stuff.
Yeah, some of the drivers that came out worse for wear in that battle. If we go back to Tom Rathley, currently running in 30th position now. He's off pace. Apparently that car picked up some damage. Let's go ahead and jump up to Amjad Yaman, currently running in about 21st position. He's fallen way back, so I think those two guys have not fared very well. And then, of course, some drivers took it into the pits. Andre Saunders has put it in the pits, so I think his day is probably over with a long repair.
Yeah, when we've got Dexter Castro in the pits as well. Andre's down there in the pits. Everyone else currently on the track at the moment. And I tell you who's been moving up nicely. Joseph Aero doing very, very well.
And here's a pass. Looks like Richard Eklund. I'm sorry to jump in there. Richard Eklund in a side-by-side battle there with Cy Andre. Andre is going to actually get the best of that now as he moves into 5th position. And sorry to interrupt you, Richard, but another Richard Eklund has dropped down to 6th.
Correct. Richard Eklund behind Cy Andra at the moment. Marcello Pajan and Sonny Canton can't even get into the top 5. This is just to show the quality of the drivers that we have up here today. However, we do have Uros Jelenko now making strides in 3rd place. Uros is. He is catching up. He's starting to catch up with the two leaders there, Koba and Marlo Larsen. And then, of course, he's pulling Tamar Zabo along with him. So these guys are making up time on the leaders, Bill. Look for Uros Jelenko to be challenging Marlo Larsen in the not-too-distant future here.
Yeah, Jelenko doing a good job. That gap had got up to about 1.5 seconds. Jelenko almost has it down under a second now. He's knocked off about 0.5. Now, one advance that Jelenko may have is he's experienced with pit stops, and he's notorious for doing the 2-tire stop. And this tack he would probably take, I would think, left sides only. He's notorious for doing that, but he is really closing the gap now on Larson. Probably once he gets close enough, he can get in the tow. This becomes a 3-car battle. And like you were saying, Richard, also trying to hang on to the back of him is the Hungarian driver, Thomas Zabo, who's trying to get up there and make this a 4-car race.
Correct. And let me tell you that if you look back to 6th position, Richard Eklund, he's 3.5 seconds off the leader, 3.4 now. But look at the difference now between Larson and Jelenko. It's 0.8 of a second, 1 second to 0.8, vacillating between those numbers. So he's definitely catching up to them. And in the next lap, bear in mind, we are only on lap 5 at the moment. Very long track this week. It's over 2 minutes, 2 minutes 30 to get around this track. So very long track. But I want to tell you, look out for Uros Jelenko and Tamar Zabo. They are coming.
There, you're watching a battle there with Jordy Fike on screen right now. In that battle that's really going on, about 18th position. Let's see if I can come into it here. Yeah, you see Fike back in that orange-colored machine now. He's right behind the newcomer Thomas Whalen there. So a nice battle going on with them. Travis Schwenke back in that battle. And rounding out the top 20 is Robert Hartley.
Yeah, now, Bill, just an interesting comment here on today's race. You know, last season we were calling names at the front like Patrick Fliss and John Deuce Allen, Amjad Yaman. These guys are not even anywhere close to the lead. Patrick Fliss, who was normally first, second in the race there, he is down in 10th place at the moment. Sonny Canton, who missed out on quite a few of the races, he is in 9th place. Marcello Pajan, will see what he can do in 8th place there. So these guys who are known fast drivers, very good drivers, they can't get into anywhere near the top 5. And we've got newcomers like Marlo Larsen and Cy Andra sitting up there in the top 5. This is going to be a season to remember, I think, Bill.
Let's jump back to Billy Bob Wright, if I can find him here, currently running in 11th position. Now, he just got passed by the Colombian driver there of Carlos Torres, but Torres is unable to pull away. But Wright being pressured by the newcomer Michael Van Dyke in 13th right now, and another newcomer, David Hampson, in 14th position. Wright, who had a great season, actually won the Most Improved Driver Award from last year. That's going to be a tough job ahead of him this time as he finished so high with all that Tidal ahead. But a great four-car battle going on there. And we're going to leave that for a second. We're going to jump back to 21st. We're going to run down the cars in the back, all the 20s here. Amjad Yaman in a close battle now. He's gotten around Robert Hartley. Yaman's car seems to be feeling a little bit better. So those guys are running 21 and 22. I'm sorry. 22nd position is Christopher Hand. Right behind him is Michael Wright, the nephew, I believe, of Billy Bob Wright that we saw earlier. Tom Rathie working his way back up now to 24th after that difficulty earlier, followed by the Tidal Influence car of Benjamin Lanowit there in 25th, certainly an Ironman veteran. Oscar Nieto, who is a longtime veteran, that's missed the last 3 or 4 seasons, back from, I believe might be from Colombia as well. A newcomer, LeVar Bout, I'm going to get that last name figured out, in that beautiful machine, car number 77, running 28th position. And then a battle there for 28th and 29th is Al Heaton, and right behind him, Derek Holland. There's 2 veterans from last year racing close together. Rounding out the top 30, Joe McDonald, a newcomer in that white machine. Richard, what do you see going on up front?
Well, I can tell you that Uros Jelenko is right up there. Well, actually, the gap has not changed all that much. Tomas Szabo still there behind him as well. So these guys are close, but the gap has gone out to about 1.4 seconds between Jelenko and Marlo Larsen at the moment. So he's dropped back just a little bit, but that is not a large gap. You can you can close that gap in one lap if you get a good run. And obviously, these guys are playing it a little patiently with them spread out a little bit here, Bill. They've got a time to settle down. We're on lap 7, and the pit stops to come. Let's see how much time has elapsed here. We've got about 18 minutes gone in the race, so it's going to be interesting to see when the pit strategy starts to come into play.
Boy, going at it tooth and claw has been Jordy Fike and Benjamin Nelson back there. Fike in that orange-colored car, looks like Phoenix Racing Machine, and right behind him in the Alabama Crimson Tide car of Benjamin Nelson. Nelson, right, I'm giving him a little love tap. Now, right behind them is Schwenke, who almost gets into the back of Nelson right now. That's a battle going on for 15th position. That's one of the beauties of this series, is there is good, hard racing all the way through all 30 spots that are on the track right now.
That's correct, and I want to tell you that coming down to that hairpin, that's a tricky corner, one of the trickiest corners certainly on this track, and Nelson nearly got it wrong. They were doing some very late braking, and Travis Schwenke having to just sit back there and wait his opportunity. I think Travis being patient, he is going to wait until after the pit stops to see what he can do. But these guys are down in 16th, 17th place. David Hanson, pardon me, I want to say he's been around for quite a long time. He's certainly this season last season in the standard series, the official series, he showed quite a turn of speed. So he's turned his talents to the MX-5 World Tour to see how he can go. But in his first race today, he's down in 18th position. So let's go back to the front.
Director, let's get a replay if you can on Say Anders. He just tried to make a move on I think it was Richard Eklund or maybe Thomas Zabel, and he took it in so hot, he overshot his apex and lost 3 or 4 positions. Let's see if we can find it. Here you go. Watch this now. He makes a move on the outside. He's pulling along. He gets a run, and then he ducks to the inside here. He has it, but he goes in so hot that he takes it out past the cones, loses all of his momentum, and drops for at least 2 or 3 positions. So he was making a run on and Jelenko, you can see there, Jelenko hit the wall just ahead of him.
Yeah, Jelenko was very wide out of Sunset Bend as well there, so Jelenko just struggling. I think that's a tire issue. Even though these guys have only gone 8 laps, a very long, they've been racing for around 20 minutes now. They are on lap 8 of 18, so 10 laps to go still, Bill. And there we have a move happening here. Let's go and have a look. Let's see, Richard Eklund on Tomas Szabo. These two have raced each other many times. Now we've got Richard Eklund on the inside. They will be heading down towards the right-hander, which is going to be interesting. Cunningham Bend. Let's see, Richard Eklund side by side with Tomas Szabo. Tomas not giving it up, but I think now he will have to give up to Richard Eklund, who moves forward 1 spot.
What I think is happening here is Eklund's starting to get a feel for the track with his, didn't have a lot of practice time. He's learning as he's racing right now. Now, right behind him is what we talked about there, Andra, who had that, took it in too hot and lost those positions. He'd like to get that back from Szabo, and then he'll have to get around Eklund again. He's already done that once. He's going to have to do it again. Andra currently running in 6th position. Meanwhile, up in front, Jelenko has been getting to lose a little bit of touch with those two guys up in front. It's now almost 2.5 seconds from Marlo Lawson back to Jelenko. And Lawson hanging right with Kobolossos. Those two guys, I think they're behaving, Richard. The guys out front of this going to run together and put in some hot laps until it's the pits time.
Yeah, they've been doing the two-step there. The old 1-2, Koba Lopez and Marlo Larson.
Here we go again. Here comes Andrew again trying to make this move, this time on Szabo. He's got a nose in here. He's going to take it in hot. He's going to get it inside, and he's going to get that. This time he's able to keep the car on the track, and he gets that 5th spot, Richard.
And here we got Szabo trying the over-under. Couldn't quite make that happen. So Szabo coming out of Sunset Bend there, very close to Andra.
Oscar Nieto is off the track. Sorry to interrupt. Oscar has spun it. Was it all by himself? It looks like this was a self-spin only. He was in a battle with Derek Holland. Holland had the inside. Did they make contact? No, Holland made the pass on him. We're on replay now. Nieto just got... Oh, he blew an engine. He blew his shift. You can watch it here. You can see that he's driving. The car gets loose behind him. And you can see the smoke coming out of here in just... So there you go.
Okay, we've got a battle. Let's get right up to the front. Richard Eklund, Uros Jelenko. So Richard has managed to pass Andra. He's now looking at Uros Jelenko as they head through Big Bend down to the hairpin. He's going to try. He's gone on the inside. He backs out. He decides it's not a great idea to do it in the hairpin. But he's very close to Uros Jelenko. I think, in fact, Uros Jelenko will be holding him up a little bit. Uros has no doubt got a little bit of damage, which has slowed him down. He doesn't look as if there is, it doesn't look as if there's much damage, but I can tell you from experience that he's got damage. Richard Eklund now trying it on the inside. Once again, he has to back out because, and there's a little bit of a tap from Richard Eklund on Uros Jelenko telling him, hey, I want to pass you. Stop holding me up.
Yeah, well, he's got to get this job done because Andra is right behind him, and Andra is aggressive. He might be the fastest out of that 4 cars there. And like you said, Jelenko, I think, is probably slowing down now. A combination of Jelenko's damage to his car and Eklund starting to get a feel for the track. Look at Jelenko there, making his car as wide as he can. Eklund's going to try to dip it inside here. Not yet. Eklund being very patient, Richard.
Eklund being very patient, but you see, Eklund knows that is not just anybody in front of him. That is Uros Jelenko, who has won a race here at least once at this track. So now we see, look at the defensive Uros Jelenko going very defensive. But I don't think he's got the straight line speed. There you can see it quite clearly, Bill. He hasn't got the straight line speed. He's got to rely on his talent to keep him involved. But Eklund well and truly passed him down the Ullman Straight there. But he comes back going into Sunset Bend. Very good there. Eklund still hasn't...
Here comes
Andrew.
Contact.
Andrew touched him. Let's get that on replay. Andrew touched Uros. Andrew touched Uros Jelenko. And that's terrible.
Turn Jelenko right into the pit, so maybe he can go in and get the pit repaired. And we're going to watch on the replay there. You can see as they were coming in, and Sai just put a nose in there. What do you think?
Yeah, that's a tough one, Bill. That Andra put his nose in there thinking he had an opportunity. Very hard to make this, on off-the-cuff decisions when you're in such a hot battle. So he's made the decision to try and make the pass, got it wrong, and that's put Jelenko in the pits.
So Jelenko took a 360 and went right into the pits. It actually, with 9 laps to go, this might be in the window. I think he can, well, certainly it's halfway, so it's probably going to be able to do it. So he may not be damaged that much. We'll keep an eye on that. Szabo got a little bit of contact in that as well. I think Eklund might have got away pretty clean. So Eklund now has finally got that job done, but now he's 4.5 seconds back behind Larson. So those two drivers out in front have really been able to distance themselves. Larson sitting back there. Something we haven't talked about, Richard. They all start with the same amount of fuel, so in theory they need the same amount of fuel when they come in for their pit stops, but maybe not if you're running behind another driver the whole time. Maybe Larson can take less fuel because he's burning less running behind Coba Lopez this whole race.
That is correct, Bill. Absolutely on the money. When you've got a draft situation like you have on this track, particularly down that very long straightaway, the Ullman Straight, you do have an opportunity to save. It's not much that you save, but it all adds up, and you might be able to take a few, liters perhaps less. Maybe just 1 or 2 liters, but that will all count in the end. And you better have somebody calculating the fuel there for you, because it's tough decisions to make. But Marlowe has shown a lot of restraint. He's not tried to attack Koba at any stage that I can see anyway. Richard Eklund now into 3rd place. Richard Eklund, watch out for Richard. This guy knows what he's doing. We're getting information about a battle there.
Here we go with Zabo and Sayandra there. Yeah. Zabo running in 4th position. Sayandra has really been exciting to watch. I think maybe the most exciting driver so far. Of course, maybe a little too exciting for yours, Jelenko's taste. And now we see that Zabo is going to pull off into the pits. Now, let's go ahead and find right now Jelenko. I'm sure Zabo's going to get out first. Jelenko really hasn't been hurt that much. He only dropped back to 7th position after his pit stop. So it wasn't so bad. Oh, wait, and Marcelo Pujan has put it in the wall.
Oh, dear, oh, dear.
A self-spin. He just got loose, got it out in the grass, and then looped it right in the wall in front of Patrick Fliss. Looks like everyone's going to get around him, but I think that might be the end for the Italian driver. We're on board with him right now.
Looks like we're coming to the pit window, certainly at the moment there. Wow, so John Hughes Allen has now moved up. He's come into pit lane. He's got his fuel. He's coming back out again. Interesting what's happening here. We've got Billy Bob Wright sitting in the pits there as well. Derek Holland approaching the pits. So a bunch of guys getting their pit stops. Let's have a look at Uras Jelenko. Where is he? He's got a bit of damage on the right rear of his car as well. He's coming out there behind that looks like Sonny Kanchan in front of him there.
Yeah, it's a nice little train. Let's go to 5th position here. Thomas Zabo has just come out of the pits. I think he's the leading car of the drivers who've pitted. Sonny Ketchen, I believe, is also pitted. As I'm hearing more contact. No, I guess everything. A little problem from Jordy Fike, it looked like. So let's go ahead and stay with this. Zabo running in 5th. Ketchen has made his pit stop. Jelenko's made his pit stop. Deuce Allen has made his pit stop. Patrick Fliss has also pitted. So there's your battle for 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th from all the cars who pitted. Meanwhile, the guys up in front, Lopez, Larson, Eklund, and Andra has not pitted yet.
Yeah, that is absolutely correct. Big winner out of all of that looks like Sonny Kanchan. He was languishing, dare I say, back there in about 10th place. Now he finds himself in 5th place, but we have to make note of the fact that Tomas Zab was the closest to the top 4. He's 45 seconds behind, so 45 seconds is not that much time on a very long track like this. So will these guys be able to get out when they do pit Bill in front of them? I think so, because 45 seconds is enough time to do your pit stop.
Quickly back to 19th position. Joseph Aro in a battle here with Amjad Yaman, our defending champion. Yaman trying to make his way back up after the early incidents that he had. You see that Aro goes a little bit wide. That should give the position to Amjad. He does. So the Texas driver gets around the Italian driver, Yaman, up to 19th position. Still got a ways to go to make up for his early problems. Richard?
Yeah, and I'm driving here with this trio.
Our leader is in the pits. Both leaders are in the pits here. Koba Lopez is in and Larson is in. So let's keep an eye on then who's going to come out first. In theory, Richard, it should be Larson.
All 4 in the pits.
There goes Larson. There goes Lopez. Larson got the jump.
And here come the guys down the front straight. So they're well and truly out before this the group here of Kanchan, Jelenko, and Deuce Allen can get to them. So Good pit stop from these guys. They will come back.
Let's keep an eye on Zabel here. Zabel's going to make a move here as Anders just coming out of the pits right now, but Zabel's going to have the momentum. Nope, I don't think he's going to get it. So Anders going to get that 4th position secured. But what's interesting here, Eklund's going to get 3rd. But what is interesting, and Richard, you called it when you were talking about the fuel miles there, Marlo Lawson was able to take less fuel in the pit stops because he spent the first half of the race saving fuel behind Koba.
Correct, and he's now leading by about 1 second over Koba. Richard Eklund, he's back about 8 seconds in 3rd place, so all of them have done a great job. Cy Andra, who I think is going to be one to watch this season, he is, let's see, he's 10 seconds back, so 2 seconds behind Richard Eklund. And then we've got Tomas Szabo, Sonny Kanchan, Uros Jelenko. This is where the battle is. Here we're looking at 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th place. This is where the action is right now.
Yeah, take it back a little further. 8th and 9th is Patrick Fliss and Juice Allen is in there as well. So a nice, really an exciting, there's 6-car train going on from 4th to 9th right now.
And let's go to Tomas Szabo, who has got Cy Andra in his side. So Andra's got a fair bit of damage on the rear of his car. Doesn't seem to have slowed him down. I can tell you, Bill, that the damage model has been changed quite significantly on these cars by iRacing. You can take a fair bit of damage and still have the car be able to stay with speed, you know, to continue on with the normal speed and so on. In the past, the slightest touch and these cars would fold up like a tent being packed away. So at the moment,
Eklund off on the grass. Sorry to interrupt you there. Eklund was leading those guys off on the grass, and meanwhile up in front, we got to keep an eye on this because I think Koba Lopez is going to get it done quickly here. He's been able to gobble up the distance on Larson, and he's right behind him now. So we'll try to watch that battle back there, Richard, in 4th all the way back. But Koba Lopez is so good, he's going to get this pass done if we're not careful here. The distance is just about 5 or 6 car lengths right now.
Yeah, but that's not where the excitement is, Bill. The excitement really is here with Tomas Szabo and Cy Andra. This battle has been very, very close, much closer than Koba Lopez. These guys up front there, they are not interested in racing that hard. But look at Tomas Szabo. Tomas wants that position. They come out of turn 1. They head down towards the entry to Big Bend. Cy Andra really doing a great job there, keeping ahead of Tomas Szabo. But I think it's a matter of time. Tomas Szabo is sizing him up now. They go around that very tough left-hand, and now they go into the Big Bend, under the bridge, down towards the hairpin. Cy Andra very good out of there and manages to actually gain a little bit on a bit of time over Tomas Szabo. So Tomas will have to try it all again.
Yep. We're hearing that Jelenko may have got a slowdown penalty there. That's going to cost him. Of course, he's not in that battle right there, but that's going to drop him a few more positions. Meanwhile, up in front, Lopez, I don't know, Richard, I got a hunch he's going to make this move here pretty soon. We have some business to take care of, our back marker review, but we're going to put that on hold, you fans of Eagle Nest Cavern. Let's go ahead and keep an eye as we're looking at Jelenko right there, currently running in 9th position. Looks like he's running behind Deuce Allen there in 8th spot. Richard, I think you might be right. I think Koba Lopez just might be giving me a hard time and just holding position until he wants to make the move. I'm not sure if he's going to do that soon or not.
Yeah, I think that is exactly right. Koba Lopez saw what Marlo Larson did staying behind him and thinking to himself, perhaps this is a good strategy. And right now, we shall see they go down Ullman Straight now on lap number 13. Let's see if Koba will try and make the move here. He's got an opportunity if he wants to go out. He's right in the draft. He can go to the inside if he wants to. Looks like he's backing it off just slightly. He's lifting. Yes, he's not interested in trying to pass right now.
All right, Koba, I get what you're telling me. What you're telling me is you're going to not make this pass. You're going to let me go to my back marker review. So that's what we're going to do. Richard, keep an eye on that battle for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Interrupt me because the fans want to see that. But meanwhile, we have some bills to pay. So it's time. We're going to jump back to 30th position there. Nope, Thomas Willen is in the pits. Let's try Joe McDonald, currently running in 25. Oh, Joel McDonald running in 29th position. Just ahead of Joel McDonald, Thomas Torp. Is he racing the Foggy Notion machine? Yes, it is. It's back. The gray machine. It's good to see the gray goes back out on the track. Al Heaton in 27th position right now. Just ahead of him, not Billy Bob Wright. It's Michael Wright running in 26th. Thomas Schwenke having a bad race, having a little trouble getting the Season of Aquarius some traction going on there as he's currently running in 25th. 24th pot, Tuan Tran, who is really, really good in the Skippy, but seems to have trouble in this MX-5. You can't use the throttle to drive this car around the corners like you can the Skippy. 23rd position, LeVar Bout. I'm going to give it 9 different pronunciations of that one. One of them will be right. Robert Hartley in 22nd position. An old-timer Derek Holland running in 21st. And rounding out, we get up to the 20. Hey, a nice little battle going on. Let's stay this one here for a second. Joseph Aro in a battle with, he's back with Amjad Yaman. And now peeking in there, in that blue car is Christopher Henn. So a great battle going on back there for 20th spot. Let's stay with it just a little while longer, and it looks like it's done. So Amjad has moved up into 18th position. Richard, that's our back marker review brought to you by Eagle Nest Tavern. What do you see up front?
Okay, so while you were doing the back marker review, we had a nice little battle that between Fliss and John Allen. That ended with John Allen making up one position. He got by Patrick Fliss. Now John Allen has got in his sights. As we see Fliss going really wide, coming out of the right-hander there. But we talk about Allen. John Allen got ahead of him, and now he's got Sonny Kanchan in his sights. So this 2, 4, 6 car train still very close to each other. And there's going to be a shuffling of positions before the end of this race, I feel. Between this this group.
Let's go back to the front. If he wants it, he can take it, but he's not going to do it. Coba Lopez is going to stay back there in second. What that makes us do on the broadcast is cover them every time they go down the straight there. Lopez gets a great run on Larson, and he can have that position if he wants it. I think that's where he's going to make the move. Richard, let's go ahead and talk last lap. I think Lopez is feeling out Larson, figuring out where he's going to make the move. I don't think there's enough time to make a pass at Sunset and maybe get it done at the straight, or is there? Do you think you can make a pass there?
Look, the draft down the Ullman Straight is large, let me tell you. If he's saving himself for the last lap, he's going to do it easily. What Marlo Larsen has to think about right now is, how am I going to defend on that last lap coming down the Ullman Straight? He's going to have to go far to the right to try and defend, but that cuts off your entry into Sunset Bend, makes it narrower. The radius not what ideal at all.
Yeah.
So I think that at the moment, Koba is sitting in the box seat.
I think he likes where he is. I think Lopez likes where he is. I don't think he wants to be in second. You almost think Larson almost wants to surrender that position. I think it's all going to come down to the last time down the Ullman Straight, and I wouldn't be surprised if Larson doesn't take that defensive line.
Battle on here, guys. Cy Andra and Richard Eklund. He gave him another little tap here. Cy Andra not shy about tapping other people. His car looks like it's going to have to be sold after this race because it looks pretty second-hand here, Bill. But he's fast, and he's taking it to Richard Eklund, who weaves a little bit across the track there, trying to keep Andra at bay. And just behind Andra is Tamar Szabo. Tamar Szabo, by the way, from what I'm seeing, I'm not sure if Trading Paints is lying to me or not, but he has the same paint scheme as does Koba Lopez.
Well, Andra is new to the series, and he just wants to introduce himself to all the drivers, so he's just saying hello to everybody, giving them little bumps there, little love taps. Meanwhile, Koba Lopez giving me fits by staying right on the back of Larson, but I don't think he's going to make that move. Let's go ahead, and we don't have to put the camera on him, but I just want to double up on talk about Jiro Stolenko. He's dropped back to 9th position. Clearly that damage is going to keep him out of the battle ahead of him. Luckily, there's no one really behind him. Oh, we have a car in the wall. Let's go back, and it's Christopher Hand. We talked about that battle. Let's jump back real quick. Maybe we can get it on replay real quick. That battle that we watched with Yaman, Hen, and Arrow was really going at it, and finally Hen put it in the wall. We don't want to miss the ending or any excitement going on there up in front, but...
Battle. Here we go. Sonny Kanchen. In front of him, Tamar Zabo. Sonny Kanchen is caught up to Tamar Zabo, Syandra, and in fact, Richard Eklund. So this is a 4-car train, and just behind him, here comes Patrick Fliss. Here comes Patrick Fliss on John Allen. Once again, they side by side going towards turn 1. Patrick has got the better line into the corner. Will he keep his nose in there? John Allen going wide into the turn. Looks like John Allen has got momentum. John Allen really wide, really so wide he's off the track, but he does manage to hang on to the position, and Patrick Fliss doing him a favor there by staying out of it.
And up ahead, Andra almost put it inside of Eklund right there. Eklund put it on the grass. That great battle going on for third position. Meanwhile, up in front, and we're going to stay now, Richard, with the leaders up here and these guys in the top 7 or 8, because unless we see intelligence...
Bill, I'm going to cut you off there. The battle is on. They side by side here, going down towards the hairpin. On the inside, Isai Andre is holding him at bay. That was defensive driving. Here comes Tamar Zabo. Here comes Sonny Kanchen. Richard Eklund liking what he's seeing behind him in the mirrors there, because this is giving him an opportunity to make a slight break. But Sai Andra hanging right in there with that damaged car. Sonny Kanchen having a look at these guys, and John Allen not far behind them either. This is where the big action is, and I fear that there's going to be trouble before the end of this race between this group here. Look at them, Bill. Almost 3 wide. They actually one behind the other, but they're all taking such different lines into the corner. It looks as if they're going 3 wide. This could end ugly. I hope not, but it could end ugly, Bill.
Eklund probably in the best position now. He's actually feeling pretty good. He's getting himself a little bit of difference back to Syandra. But boy, that battle back there between Andra Zaba and Ketchin that's fierce. Now back behind them, then Deuce Allen is still in the hunt, and Patrick Fliss watching the whole thing. We talk about the popcorn position. My goodness, that's popcorn and Thin Mints and a soda back there. He's got quite a show going on in front of him. Meanwhile, up in front, as they go down the straight one more time, it's not going to happen. Now, this is 3 laps to go here. So as they cross, they're going around Sunset right now. As they cross here, there'll be 2 laps to go.
Correct. Now it's interesting. This it could go wrong for Koba if he leaves it to that last lap. He knows he's got enough to make the pass on the last lap. But Bill, if he makes one mistake and Marlowe gets a little break, all Marlowe needs to do is get another 100 meters or so on him, and then he won't have enough to make the pass. So he's got to keep it really tight. He's got to be very close to Larson. I'm not sure whether the patience is going to pay off. He's going to. We're going to have to see. We'll have to see whose strategy is going to work here. Marlo Larson knows that he's got Koba behind him. He knows that Koba can get in the draft. It's going to be a very interesting last one. Let's keep that for a little while later. Let's go back to the Zabo, Andra, Eklund, Kanchen battle.
Eklund still out in front, beginning to space out a little, about 3 or 4 car lengths between them. Now, I expect that to heat up, though, as they come down to the last lap here, as we're on 2 laps to go. Richard, talking about what's going up in front, I would be very, very surprised if Larson surrenders the inside. I really think he's going to make Koba go around the outside, probably through Sunset. We may end up with a drag race from the exit of Sunset to the start-finish line, as they still running 1-2. Meanwhile, back behind, it looks like those cars were all the way back. Ketchin, Allen Ketchin, Zabo, Andra, Eklund, looks like they're all positioning themselves as well.
John Allen's up there as well. Patrick Fliss in there, slightly off the group there, but he's in there as well. This is going to be torrid. Here we go. Sai Andra. Very impressive run from Sai Andra for first time out. He's really taken it to the fast guys and said, hey, my name is Sai Andra. Look out for me. I'll be with racing with you guys for the whole season.
And here he is going to make a move now, as he still can't get the preferred position there as they go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in a row. Meanwhile, as we go down, here we go. We're going down the Ullman Straight one more time. Now, this is not the last time. There's one more shot of this
Yeah,
right here.
one more lap.
Koba Lopez sitting back there. Koba actually gave a little love tap to Larson entering this straight. Let's see. I think Lopez just sitting back there figuring out the traction. Meanwhile, now here's what I think is going to happen. Let's go back to Eklund real quick. I think this is the line that Larson's going to take. This is kind of a forebear of what we're going to see side by side as they go through Sunset.
Oh,
now look at the
go.
momentum. Eklund's not going to have the momentum, but he gets a pretty good exit there.
Not only that, Bill, I'm breaking in behind them. Tomas Szabo and Sonny Canton. Tomas going all over the track trying to keep Sonny Canton out. Sonny Canton on the inside of Tomas Szabo. He's going to put his nose in. He just doesn't have enough. Wide goes Tomas Szabo out onto the dirt there, but manages to hang on to the position. Here comes John Allen as well on Sonny Canton. Let us hope this stays cleanly on the last lap now, Bill. Keep an eye on Koba there, but the action is here. This is for the third place. And look at Richard Eklund having complete disregard for the limits of the track as he goes into Big Bend.
And that was Patrick Fliss that got around, as you fall in the back there, got around Deuce Allen. Now, let's go back up to the front here. I believe it's going to happen pretty soon. Koba Lopez stalking, hunting.
Oh, somebody else in front of them there, black marker.
That's Joe McDonald.
Here he goes. He goes to the inside. He's going to try and take the position. Arlo Larson,
they touch.
A little bit of a touch. Yes, contact made there, but no harm, no foul, as one of our commentators likes to say. Now they're going side by side. They're heading down. This is the last lap. This is the right-hander where it all can go wrong. They managed to go through side by side there. Koba Lopez now showing what he's made of. He goes to the inside. He stays with Marlo Larson. Marlo Larson showing what he's made of. I'm not giving up this position. He's slightly ahead of Koba Lopez. At this stage, Koba should drop back, not try to take the position right now. But Koba wants that inside line on them. He can't get it. Marlo Larson takes the lead once again. Koba is not close enough at this stage. Now the draft kicks in. Over to you, Bill. This is the last lap.
And a good exit through Le Mans by Larson is going to give it a hard job for Lopez. Now look at Larson taking that inside line that we saw Eklund take. He's trying to go to the inside. There's no room for Lopez. Lopez is forced to the outside. They're going to go side by side. They enter into Sunset at 10:55. Will they come out at noon? No, it looks like Larson is going to have the position. Lopez tries to do the over-under. Here comes Lopez. It's a drag race to the start-finish line. They're neck and neck. I can't make the call. They are so close. And it looks like Larson's starting to ease away. And Larson wins it just ahead of Lopez. The battle now for third position is going to go to, it looks like Andres has got ahead of Eklund. So Andres is going to get third. Eklund Szabo fourth. Did I lose Eklund in there? Where was Eklund?
Now Eklund in third.
Eklund was third. Okay. Andres in fourth. Szabo in fifth. Woo!
What a battle for the lead on the last lap. I told you. I called it correctly. I thought that it's going to be tough. And you know what? Koba knew that he had to get ahead of Larson before they go down into Ullman straight for the last time, and he tried everything that he could. But Larson, fantastic driving, keeping him out.
As the top 10 come across here, Van Dyke is going to get 11th. Hampton is going to come across just ahead. It looks like maybe David Hampson has run out of fuel as he limps his car across there in 14th position. Let's see if we can pick up
stuff.
Lanawet in 14th. Ratchie going to get 15th position. Christopher Hand. Let's see if we can find a battle here anywhere back in the pack. It looks like everyone. Let's go back here to
There's
20.
a little battle. Christopher Hen, Amjad Yaman.
Benjamin Nelson has ran out of fuel on the last lap. He's going to give that position up to Robert Hartley and Swenke and Tran. Let's stay with this battle back here with Swenke now. A nice little battle for 21st. It's Hartley in the yellow car, Swenke in the orange car, and back behind them is Tran, the Skippy expert. And it looks like as they come to the lead, look at this, Swenke trying to get a little momentum on Hartley. This is a battle for 22nd. It looks like Swenke's going to get that spot. 22nd, Hartley 23rd. And Tran, I believe, is going to get, if my timing and scoring will keep up, I don't know what it is there for Tran. All right. Let's go to break, Richard. We're going to take a short break. We'll be back to run down the entire field, do interviews, and then post-race plugs. Back in just a few. Welcome back to the post-race show on Global Sim Racing Global Sim Racing Channel. It is the MX-5 World Tour sponsored by Tidal Influence. This was the first race of the season of Aquarius and the first race, we didn't talk about it much, of the 5-race swing, the Atlantic swing. where champion will be crowned after 5 races. And off to a good start on the Atlantic swing is newcomer, rookie Marlo Lawson from Ireland. He outdueled Ade Cobo Lopez, gave him everything Lopez could want, and was able to come out on top. Lopez had to settle for second, 0.020 behind Larson, in a very close battle for the lead. Two-time champion Richard Eklund had a comfortable third-place finish. Newcomer Cy Andra in 4th position said hello to used the bumper to say hello to a lot of drivers, but was pretty well clean. Not a lot of heartache going on there. Thomas Szabo in 5th spot. Sonny Ketchen from Australia in 6th. In the 7th position, Patrick Fliss. Behind him in the snowman position goes to John Deuce Allen. Number 9 goes to Carlos Torres, and rounding out the top 10, able to salvage that after some damage, was Juris Zelenko. Richard?
And a very good finish in 11th place there for Billy Bob Wright. Then Michael van Dijk in 12th place. Jordy Fike, great finish from him in 13th place. David Hampson 14th. Benjamin Lanowet 15th. Tom Rache in 16th place. 17th place, Christopher Hen, respectable finish, seeing that he did not qualify at all in 17th. 18th place, last season's winner, Amjad Yaman. Dr. Amjad with a bit of work to do. 19th place, Derek Holland, and rounding out the top 20 bill, Joseph Arrow.
Hitting blackjack was LeVar Boutet, and that's the pronunciation I'm going with now. I like Boutet. In the catching 22 was Travis Schwenke. Robert Hartley in 23rd. The double dozen position goes to Tuan Tran. 25th to Michael Wright. 26th position to Al Heaton. Thomas Torp, Benjamin Nelson, and Joe McDonald took 27th through 29th. And 30th spot goes to Thomas Willen, and I'll just round out the rest of these. Marcello Pajan had some trouble, finished 8 laps back, 31st. Jeffrey Cochise, 8 laps back, 32nd position. Oscar Nieto, Jake Tucker, Andre Saunders, and Dexter Castro round out the 36 cars that took the green. Richard?
Hey, Bill, did you say Cochise? Isn't that one of your famous Indian chiefs in America?
I believe so, and I'm going with Cochise because he's a hero of mine until I hear differently. So hopefully, maybe I'll have to see, maybe he lives on one of the reservations here in the United States. Let's go ahead and who do you have? Can you chase somebody down there, Richard? Who do you have for an interview?
We've got Richard Eklund. Let's talk to Richard first up. Let's bring him in. And I'll let you, this is the first race, Bill. All the kudos to you. You go ahead and do the first interview. Let's bring Richard Eklund in.
Richard Eklund, you got a late entry into the session. It looks like you were a little rusty there, but after a while you seemed to pick up your pace. A nice third place, didn't have much for the guys in front of you, huh?
Yeah, Marlo, is that his name? I don't even know, never heard of him before. But him and Ade, they were flying out there. I don't know what they were doing, but I had nothing for them today for sure. And my frame rate was really, really bad in the beginning, so it wasn't ideal. And I'm working with a button clutch. I don't have a pedal anymore, so trying to make all the racing driver excuses that I can. But yeah, I was rusty for sure.
Well, it was nice. I could tell you were actually getting smoother. I don't know if your lap times got faster, but you looked a little better there. You dropped well back to start the thing. You dropped back to 6th position.
Yeah, I was trying to hang on to Ade and Marlo there, and I probably could have hung with them. I don't think I ever could have challenged them, but I was hoping to stay behind them, and then Uros passed me when I outbraked myself into the hairpin. And then it was just a train effect from there. When after I got passed by one guy, I think 3 guys got by me. So I was pretty lucky to finish 3rd today, given the circumstances. But it felt pretty good to be back. I haven't raced since last time, and it was Silverstone. That was 2 or 3 months ago, so definitely a little rusty.
It's always good to have you here. Boy, you were in quite a battle. A lot of drivers saying hello to each other there with the bumpers and the tails of their car in that like 5 or 6 car train that you were in for the last half of the race.
Yeah, luckily I was able to keep Cy behind me, but he definitely tried a few times to get by me. So and behind him there were another 3 or 4 cars too. So if I let Cy by, I probably would have got passed by all of them. So I was doing everything I could to stay ahead, but it was super tight.
Well, Richard, always great to have you in here. Congratulations on a third place win. I know you like to be up higher, but boy, the competition was pretty steep. And we hope to see you in as many races as you can make this season.
Yeah, I'll come back as often as I can. I don't know how often that will be, but I'll try to be here as often as I can. Thanks.
Great. Always welcome. Richard Eklund, your two-time series champion and your third place finisher today. Let's throw it over to another Richard and see who he's chased down.
I think we'll bring in Syandra, the very gentleman that Richard Eklund was talking about. Let's bring in Sy and have a chat with him. Syandra, first time we're talking to you. Have you got a copy? Syandra,
Yes, I do.
Can you...
Yep, I'm here.
Thank you, Sy. Yes, your first race in a very tough series. This is Richard talking to you, by the way. And you've managed to have a fourth place finish. How did you find it out there? Some pretty good racing from yourself with the likes of Richard Eklund, Tomas Szabo, Sonny Kanchan, etc. Now, guys like Richard Eklund, you may not have seen around before because these guys don't race in official series, but tough race out there today.
It was definitely a tough race. I felt like I could have qualified a lot higher than I did. So it was definitely go, go, go from the start. And I think for my first race, fourth place is a very good finish, but I will be aiming higher up for the rest of the season.
Well, that's the stuff we like to hear, Sy. Let's just clear up one thing. What's your preferred pronunciation of your first name? Is it Sy?
That's correct, Sai, yeah.
All right. Sy, now let's just talk a little bit about the race. So early on there, you were never far off the top five, if ever you were out of the top five. Did you think at the beginning you had an opportunity to win? Because you're saying you're aiming pretty high this season.
Well, that's a tough question because clearly the top two checked out pretty early in the race, so it was mostly me battling for the last podium spot. But I think it depends on the track. Definitely when we go to Daytona or draft lock tracks like that, I think I have a good chance for the win simply based on racecraft and that sort of stuff. But on tracks like Sebring, which is very, what's the word? You need to have good car control and that sort of stuff.
Lots of corners, yep.
Yep. But
well,
I'm going to improve myself.
Yeah, well, listen, Sy, that opening between yourself, the opening race between yourself and Marlo Larsen, I said at the beginning, I've been watching Marlo now for a little bit on the official series, and we know that he's really good. Koba Lopez, let me tell you, if you don't know Koba Lopez, he's one of the best MX-5 drivers I've ever seen, and Marlo Larsen smoked him on that last lap there. So it's going to be a tough series if these guys hang around, but very good race from you in the first race here, and we hope to see you some more in the series and on the podium in a few of the races as well.
Thank you, Richard.
Hey, Sy, quickly, it's Soup here. Before you go, tell us a little bit about yourself. You're an American driver. Where are you from? How old are you?
Yeah, I'm an American. I'm living in Daytona Beach, Florida at the moment, but I am from Vermont.
Yeah, I thought I heard that.
And I'm a college student at the moment, so juggling studies and driving is a bit of a challenge.
How is your schedule for Saturdays? You look like you can do a few of these races.
It fits almost perfectly into my schedule. Actually, I think I can do most of them.
Great. Well, we hope to see you again. It certainly was exciting, and welcome to the series.
Thank you, Bill.
All right, Syandra, your fourth place winner in his Virgin experience in the MX-5 World Tour. Who we got next, Director? We're bringing in we're going to bring in Patrick Fliss, last season's Ironman champion. Patrick Fliss will share you with me and Richard. Going to double team you here. Could you have a copy?
Yes, I do. Hello.
Hey, congratulations! A lot of talent ahead of you. I think seventh place. Not what you're used to from last season, but that was pretty impressive. Quite a battle you were in there that last half of the race.
Oh yeah, I'm really happy about my 7th position finish. Those are some really fast guys. I know them all from the official series, so I knew what I was up against. And yeah, I was expecting a top 10, but I'm really happy with the 7th.
Well, go ahead, Rich.
Yeah, well, Patrick, yeah, as Bill said, this is not the same as last season. You've got guys like Marlo Larson now. We've seen Marlo Larson in action in the official series. We know he's fast, but the guys that you didn't race much against last season, guys like Richard Eklund, Tomas Zabo, the others you know pretty well, Sonny Kanchan, John Allen, etc. So it's going to be a tough series, a tough season for you. Do you think you got a chance of staying in the top 10 or getting into the top 5 with these guys?
I have a chance of staying in the top 10, yes, but I don't expect a high finish, but it's all the more fun, so all good.
Ah, well, that's the spirit. Bill, that is the spirit that we want from our MWT drivers.
Absolutely. I have 2 questions. First of all, actually 1 question. First of all, congratulations on another lead lap finish. We will get those numbers to you now. There's a we'll get the numbers for the most miles completed on the lead lap. But what I want to ask you about, what was the story with tires today? Did you take tires? Did you take 2 on the left or no tires? What'd you do?
Yeah, I didn't know what to do. There's so many different corners left and right, but yeah, I picked left tires.
Just curious to see how that. Did you like your decision?
Yes, I did. I would like all 4 tires actually, but I didn't want to spend that much time.
Yeah. 8 tires would even be better. All right. Well,
had
Patrick,
8.
congratulations on a 7th place finish here today in a tough crowd, and good luck with who knows, maybe a championship in the future for you here. Things usually thin out as the season goes on, so if you keep up like you were doing last season, they keep plugging away, you can have pulling on Jed Yaman and find yourself with a crown.
Yep, thank you. Also, I would like to thank my toes for keeping my life in good balance.
There you go. I knew it was coming. Leave him room to get that
done.
last one in. All right. There you have it. It's very funny. The guy never does an interview for like the entire season, and then he's hilarious when he comes in here now. Well, Richard, I think that's going to wrap it up for us. A pretty good first race, I'd say, for the season of Aquarius.
Yes, sir. And we, as usual, Bill, we have a couple of finds. And this season, it is rookies Cy Andra and Marlo Larson. Look out.
Absolutely. Okay, let's go ahead and do our plugs. We'd like to thank Tidal Influence. Now, they're an ecological consulting firm based in Long Beach, California, that restores wetlands, saves and studies endangered species, and educates children on our environment. For more information, go to TidalInfluence.com. The best kept secret in California's San Bernardino Mountains is Green Valley Lake, and your best choice for lodging is, of course, Mountaintop Cabin Rentals. Go to gvlcabinrentals.com for more information. We didn't have our cabin rentals keys to the race because there was qualifying going on, but make sure that you watch next broadcast, and we'll bring a driver in for a pre-race interview. And hey, while you're up at Green Valley Lake, stop in for a cold drink and a hot meal at the Eagle Nest Tavern. Check out Eagle Nest Tavern on Facebook. Thanks to the companies and equipment and software that we use to make this broadcast happen. You can see them all on the screen right there. And the original music that you've heard today is thanks to Eric Eckholm and Casey Lalonde. A big fan of theirs is my wife. See the screen to how to contact them, and I recommend Floating Room. It can come in handy in emergencies there. Thanks to my mic mate Richard Losper, our director Joe Peak, Dougie Beard, and his camera locations. If you'd like to find out more about GSRC, your best bet is, of course, Global Sim Racing Channel, along with archive races and race highlights. We're also on Twitter at GSR Channel and Facebook at the Global Sim Racing Channel. The Tidal Influence MX-5 World Tour returns next Saturday, just 7 days. Quick turnaround for these boys for round 2 of the season of Aquarius, and it's also the second round of the Atlantic Swing there. That's going to be the I Possess 27, the second leg of the Atlantic Swing from Road Atlanta. For more information on other GSRC broadcasts, go to the Global Sim Racing Channel. Director, is the bootleg series tonight? We're going to hear that. I'm not hearing back from him. Yes, it is. You don't want to miss that. That's 75 laps of circular excitement for the for the Skippies. Oh, that's exciting. Not for the Skippies. It's for the SK Modifieds there. I knew there was an SK in there. Open wheels nonetheless, I guess. All right, well, now that the housekeeping is out of the way, it's time for us to go have fun storming the castle. So until next time, for all of us at GSRC, race hard, race clean, and we'll see you on the track.